Once upon a time, in the ancient kingdom of Persia, there was a mighty king named Ahasuerus, who ruled over 127 provinces from India to Ethiopia. One day, the king held a grand feast for his nobles and officials, showcasing his wealth and splendor. Amidst the celebration, he summoned Queen Vashti to display her beauty to his guests. But Vashti refused, and her defiance led to her being banished from the palace. The king would soon seek a new queen to take her place. In the bustling city of Susa, a young Jewish woman named Esther lived with her cousin and guardian, Mordecai. Esther was beautiful, kind, and obedient. When the king's officials sought maidens to be presented before the king, Esther was taken to the palace. Guided by Mordecai's wisdom, she kept her Jewish identity a secret. Esther won favor with everyone, including the king, who chose her as his new queen. Meanwhile, a man named Haman rose to power as the king's highest official. Haman was proud and demanded everyone bow before him. But Mordecai refused, for he would bow to no one but God. Enraged, Haman devised a wicked plan to destroy not only Mordecai but all the Jewish people in the kingdom. With the king's unwitting approval, Haman issued a decree to annihilate the Jews on a set day. Fear and despair spread among the Jewish community. When Mordecai learned of Haman's plot, he tore his clothes and wept in the streets. He sent a message to Esther, urging her to plead with the king for her people. Esther was hesitant, for approaching the king without being summoned could mean death. But Mordecai reminded her, "Who knows if you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" After 3 days of fasting and prayer, Esther approached the king. To her relief, he extended his golden scepter, sparing her life. She invited the king and Haman to a banquet, where she planned to reveal her request. That night, the king couldn't sleep. He asked for the royal chronicles to be read and discovered that Mordecai had once saved his life from a plot but was never rewarded. The next morning, the king asked Haman how to honor someone deserving of great respect. Thinking the king meant him, Haman suggested a grand parade. To his horror, the king ordered Haman to honor Mordecai in this way. At the second banquet, Esther revealed her true identity and pleaded for her people. She exposed Haman's evil plot, declaring, "If we are destroyed, I too will perish." Furious, the king stormed out. When he returned, he found Haman begging Esther for mercy and mistook it as an attack. The king ordered Haman to be executed on the very gallows he had prepared for Mordecai. The king issued a new decree, allowing the Jews to defend themselves against their enemies. On the appointed day, the Jews prevailed. Mordecai was elevated to a position of honor, and the Jewish people celebrated their deliverance with feasting and joy. This victory became the foundation of the Jewish festival of Purim, a reminder of God's faithfulness and deliverance. Lessons from the story of Esther. 1. God's timing is perfect. The story of Esther reminds us that everything happens for a reason and in its appointed time. Esther's rise to the throne was not by chance, but part of God's divine plan to save his people. This teaches us to trust God's timing, even when we cannot see the full picture. 2. Courage in the face of fear. Esther demonstrated immense bravery by approaching the king uninvited, risking her life to save her people. Her story teaches us to confront challenges with courage, knowing that faith can overcome fear. 3. The power of influence. Esther used her position as queen to make a difference. This highlights the importance of using our influence and resources for the greater good. Wherever we find ourselves, we can make a positive impact. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the story of Esther. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring tales from the Bible. See you in the next story.